When did it first occur to you that you might want to own a team?
This is something I talked about, maybe 10 years before I retired. So I learned as much as I could about player development and scouting. I think there's bits and pieces that you learn over time that prepare you for this, but I've always wanted to, I always had ownership aspirations, and you never knew when that opportunity would come. But it happened quickly. It was only 3 years after I retired.
Yeah. Who are your role models when it comes to owners and folks who run sports teams?
Oh man, in my mind, I learned under arguably the greatest owner in sports in George Steinbrenner, and he was someone, he had that old football mentality, and it was, you should win every single day, and I have the same mindset. Every single time you take the field, you have an opportunity to win, and if you don't win a championship, then season's a failure.
The narrative has been Derek's got to the team. They have no chance this year. Nobody's going to show up. What's he doing?
Is that it? I try not to pay much attention to it, but criticism is a part of it, right? I mean, you get criticized when you're a player as well. The difference is when you're a player, you can go on the field and your performance silence critics. Here you got to have some patience. It's going to take some time. I mean, we have still yet to play any games. So I'm looking forward to when the season starts.
Has the level of that criticism surprised you?
I didn't have any preconceived notions going into it, right? I mean, I think I was pretty open and honest from our initial press conference when I said there's going to be decisions that we may make that are unpopular, right? But just understand that every decision we make is for the betterment of this organization. When
you talk about a build, how long is that build?
I don't put a time frame on it. You get in a lot of trouble when you put time frames on things. So, I've said it before that the team we put on the field is going to be competitive, and they're going to be expected to go out there and play the game the right way, and more importantly, expected to go out there and win games. So it's hard for me to grasp the idea of patience because it's pretty black and white, right? When you're playing a sport, you either win or you lose. In business, you got to have a long-term plan, and you got to have patience to get there. So I'm learning that part of it.
Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, those whose names have been associated with PEDs, should they be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think it's a tough question, right? It's a question for if someone is accused or someone has proven to do, right? There's two different sides of that. The thing that makes it tricky also is, you have so many different people with so many different opinions that make that decision. And, some opinions change over time. Some people are bullish on their opinions.
You're dancing around this.
Well, yeah, I am. You know why? Because, I've played with players. You play with guys that you built relationships with over time, and you get close to them and you develop a bond, and people make mistakes. Not saying you can condone those mistakes. People do make mistakes, but you're right. I mean, it is a tough question, and I don't make those decisions.